ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। In Atma or Brahma, the Jneyatva Nishedha is being done. And how? Jneyatva means it becoming an object of knowledge. So, Brahman will never become known as an object, as a Vishaya. Brahman should be understood as myself. And to explain that, how it is not Jnaya, and if you understand Jnaya, means a Vishaya, object of knowledge, then what kind of Shruti Virodha will come? That is said in 39th shloka. I had pointed out corrections in the shloka, how you have to read adrishtam drashtri vijñātam dabhram ityadi shasanat. First line has two corrections. Adrishtam drashtri, it will become r, like a, e, u, r. That r will come. And so next word will be vijñātam. And dabhram means very little. So if somebody says Brahma is vijñātam, then it is said it is dabhram. Means you know only an insignificant aspect of Brahma and you have understood that to be Brahma. Means you know very little. In other words, you don't know the truth. And adrishtram drashtri is Brihadaranyaka quotation, which says that it is a drashta, but it is not becoming drishya. So it itself not becoming drishya is drashta, illuminator of all. Ityadi shasanat, shruti shasanat. So with all these shruti references, shruti quotations, this Brahma is not known by either me or anybody else. Naiva jneyam maya na anyaihi va jneyam. So Brahma does not become known as an object by either me, neither I have known or anybody else has known. Which one? Param Brahma, the Supreme Brahma. Kathanchana, in any way. So the idea here is this. What do we understand by Brahma not becoming an object of knowledge? And yet Upanishads and all, they go on saying you have to know Brahman, which will come as a follow-up. Our usual thinking is that whatever I have known in my life is known as different from me. I know people, places, objects, concepts, everything is different from me. So it is what is known as Prameya. What Vedanta wants to teach is that the subject matter of Upanishad is not one of such things. The subject matter is the one because of which the knower, experiencer, Pramata, is able to know everything else of the world. So Vedanta is the knowledge of this entity, which is the illuminator even of the experiencer. Vedanta is the illuminator of the experiencer. So the one who is experiencing everything, the objects, places, etc., when he tries to know Brahma, he is looking outside in the beginning. And the Shruti corrects him and says, don't look outside. But that doesn't mean, okay, let me look inside now, because the intention is that which is the existence of Pramata, and that which is illumination of Pramata, the experiencer, the knower, that existence and illumination itself is called Brahma. That existence and illumination itself is called Brahma. In different words, it is put as the witness of even the experiencer. So how it was given as earlier in one of the shlokas, it is the witness of the experiencer, experienced and experiences. So everything becomes illumined. The Jnata, Jnanam, Jneyam, etc. by the Sakshi. That is Brahma in its real nature. So this concept is where it is explained that it is not an object, but it is the subject. So adrishtam drashtru, ashrutam shrotru, avijñātam vijñātru is to show that it is drashta, but at the same time it itself does not become drishya. It is shrota, but at the same time it does not become an object of shravanam. So then what that means is really it does not become drashta, shrota, manta, vijñāta. It is that because of which Pramata is able to function as drashta, shrota, manta, vijñāta. The experiencer or the knower is able to function as drashta, shrota, the seer, hearer, taster, thinker, etc. And this Drshta status is actually belonging to Pramata. But because Pramata's existence and Pramata's ability to know belongs to Brahma, Sakshi, Therefore, really speaking, the Drsta, Shrota, etc. would be Pramata, would be Brahma. So what is said is that Pramata borrows existence and consciousness from Brahma and becomes Drashta, Shrota, Manta, Vijñāta. So with borrowed existence and borrowed sentiency, I become the seer, experiencer, etc., the doer, the enjoyer, the knower. So really speaking, my existence itself is borrowed. So everything should belong to Brahma. In this way, it is Drashtru, Shrotru, Mantru, Vijñātru, etc. But if somebody says that, oh, I have known Brahma, then in Kenopanishad, 2nd chapter, 1st mantra says that if you have known this Brahma, then you know only very little. What that means is, some experience, mystical experience you had, which we don't deny, but you thought that was Brahma. So now you are claiming, I know Brahma, which is an error. Some mystical experience will be there because you are quietening the mind, quietening the senses. You are not interested in external experiences. So some mental experience will be there. We don't deny it. But that is not Brahma. Why? Because Brahma is not an object of experience. According to scriptures, Brahman is that because of which Pramata is able to function. That's why any such experience, any such idea that, oh, now I have experienced Brahma, is erroneous, fallacious. And that's why the Upanishad says, if you think you already know, you know very little. In this way, Upanishad is trying to guide the student properly. Because neither this Brahma is known by me, not by others. So you should understand this in the form of teacher telling the disciple that neither I have known Brahma in this way as an object, nor anybody else. Because in Kenopanishad, this is how it is said that we have learned from our teachers in this way only. Iti shushruma purvesha yenastad vyacha chakshire. So, our teachers taught us in this way, that it will not become an object of knowledge. And Param Brahma, that Param adjective is to explain that Apara Brahma can become an object of knowledge. Apara Brahma means Brahma with attributes, Saguna Brahma, can become known. And then you do upasana for that. But that is different. Here, the topic is of knowledge. So it is different. Now, a question arises. If you say that Brahman does not become an object of knowledge, then why do Upanishads say Atma va are drashtavyaha, Shrotavyah, Mantavyah, Nididhyasitavyah in Brihadaranyaka, in Yajnavalkya Maitreyi dialogue, or in Brahmaji and Indra Prajapati, Indra and Virochana dialogue. Brahmaji is a teacher and Indra and Virochana are disciples. So there it is said this, Ya Atma Apahata Papma Vijaro Vimrutyu Vishoko Vijighatso Apipasah So Anveshtavyaha So Vijignyasitavyaha. This should be, the Anveshanam should be done. This is Chandogya 8th chapter, 5th or 6th section, I think. So why this kind of message is there in Upanishads, and also in Upanishad it is said Atmani eva Atmanam Pashyet. In Brihadaranyaka it is said that Shanto Danto Paratastitikshu Shraddhavitto or Samahito Bhutva Atmani eva Atmanam Pashyet. One should see the self in one's own self. Such Upadesha, such instructions would become invalid. So the answer is given in the next shloka. See. Swarupa vyavadhana bhyam jnanaloka swabhavatah anya jnananapekshvatvaj jnatam chaiva sada maya. It is not that it will not be known. On the other hand, maya cha eva sada jnatam. Maya sada jnatam eva. By me, this Brahma is always known. Means there is no time when it is not known. Such a beautiful teaching is imparted in these two shlokas. First, let us see the words in the shloka. Swarupa avyavadhanabhyam. Swarupa avyavadhanabhyam means Swarupa and avyavadhana. This is fifth case, so both are hetus. Swarupatvat, avyavadhanatvat. Jnana loka swabhavataha. This is also fifth case. All are hetus. Jnana loka swabhavatvat. Anya jnananapekshatvat. 4 hetus are done because of these 4 reasons. First reason is because Brahma is my own Swarupa, Swarupatvat. Means I am Brahma. Anything else that I have to know, it is different from me. So then it will become object. I am the subject. But the Vedantic teaching is I am the subject. And subject also, subject of even Pramata. Subject of Jnata, Karta, Bhokta. Subject of even that. So, that is me. Then Vyavadhanam. Vyavadhanam means any obstruction. Anything that is between me and the object. So if there is anything between me and the object, then obviously object will not be known. But between me and Brahma, there is nothing. The only thing is ignorance. So through knowledge, we break that ignorance. Through right understanding, we destroy that ignorance, that there is nothing stands between me and myself, which is true. So avyavadhanabhyam, both are swarupavyavadhanabhyam, panchami dvivachanam. Because it being my true nature, and also it is unobstructed, because Atma is Aparoksha, Brahma is Aparoksha, yat Sakshaat Aparokshat Brahma. Then, so this is the difference between Vishaya. Any object is not my Swarupa. It is different from me. Then any other object is obstructed. Vyavadhanam is there. Vyavadhanam in the form of, I will need some sense organs. I will need some intellection, thought modification to know that object. But for Brahma, I don't need such intellection or thought modification, in the sense that whatever thought is there, I have to know I am the illuminator of that thought also. I am the existence of that thought also. So, Swarupa Avyavadhanabhyam. Then, Jnana Loka Swabhavata. All objects that become known, they are all Jada. They are inert, Acetana. Whereas Brahma is Cetana Swarupa. So the process of knowing Brahman will be different from knowing any other object, because all objects are Jada. So unless Cetana Prakash is there, they will not become known. But in case of Brahma, it is not the same. Brahma is self-luminous, Swayam Prakash. And by saying Avyavadhanam, it is Aparoksha. So, it is Swayam Prakasha, it is Aparoksha. Jnana Aloka. Aloka means Prakash. It is of the nature, Swabhava of Jnana Aloka. And Anya Anapekshatvat. Anya Jnana Anapekshatvat. There is no expectation of any other Jnanam. So, it is not expecting even any other external knowledge. Or in our current process, you understand this way, that even if I do not have knowledge of lot of other things, too many schools of philosophies or grammar and such things, still if I can understand that this Brahma is me, my true nature, and Upanishad is talking about myself, not something else, then nothing else is required. Everything is over there. So, Anya Jnana Anapekshatvat Maya Sadachaiva Maya Jnatam Sadachaiva. Brahma is always known to me. So, because whenever aham understanding is there, that aham is unconditioned, aham is Brahma, which is experienced even in Sushupti. Everything else has vyabhichara, subject to negation. Everything else is not Brahma. Even in Sushupti, deep sleep, when nothing else is experienced, I still am. So the Brahmatva Upadesha is for the Jnata. The one who says, I want to know Brahma, Upanishad says, you are Brahma. The one who will say, I want to know Brahma, then the teaching is, you are Brahma. Now, the only thing we have to remember here is, when I say, I want to know Brahma, I am the knower. But when Upanishad says, you are Brahma, so I should understand, I, the illuminator of knower, is Brahma. And how will I know this? Through elaborate study of scriptures, Upanishads, etc., which is what we generally do. That is called process of Shravanam. And if there are doubts, then they have to be eliminated through proper reflection. And then if I continue to identify myself as a finite knower, and I don't think that I am the infinite Brahma, then I am told, you try to think in this new way that you have learned from Upanishad. Don't think in the erroneous ways, the way you have been thinking before studying Vedanta. This is called meditation. Meditation doesn't mean that I have to sit down or something. Meditation is to correct my orientation about myself. Earlier, I did not know myself as the illuminator of the entire Brahmanda. Now I have known. Now what should I do? I should think of myself in this way and strengthen this new knowledge. And if there are likes and dislikes, all the mood swings, desire, anger, greed, jealousy, etc., then I should remember this knowledge that all of them, they belong to mind. I am different from mind. I am Atma, illuminator of mind. Modifications, vikaras are there in mind. I will work on them, but they should not bother me because I am different from them. So this is also a practice of meditation. In this way, the sadhaka will claim his infinitude. And that in Kenopanishad mantra, what was said that if you have known, then you have known only very little. Actually, that is clarified in the other mantra in Upanishad, Kenopanishad itself, 2nd chapter, 3rd mantra, which says that Yasya matam tasya matam matam yasya na vedasaha Yasya amatam tasya matam. The one who says that Brahma is amatam means agnatam or viditam. It is not known as an object of knowledge. Tasya matam, he has the clear understanding. His resolve is correct. Matam yasya na vedasaha. Yasya matam, tasya matam, matam yasya na vedasaha. And the one who says, no, Brahman is known to me now, he doesn't know Brahma. Na vedasaha. So, Upanishads has made it very clear that if you think that you have known it as an object, as an experience, then you really don't know what you are talking about. You are talking about some other entity only. One more difference between Atma and Anatma knowledge is this. Anatma knowledge will come and go. Atma is me, myself. So it will not be in the form of a continuous thought. It will be in the form of presence, awareness. So I have to understand that I am always myself. Object's knowledge, I have to use a thought modification. Object will be known. Then another thought will come, another thought will come. But when it comes to Atma, then such thought modifications are only to remind me. BrahmaAkara Vritti is to remind me that I am not something which is an impermanent entity. That's why we say impermanent thought of Brahma will reveal permanent Brahma. Anitya Jnanam can reveal Nitya Jnanam. So BrahmaAkara Vritti, a thought modification, will tell me that I am eternal and I am of the nature of knowledge. So this is another difference between the object of the world and Brahma. Now the idea is clarified with the help of an example, that how that which is of the nature of knowledge, it does not have any need of any other knowledge. What was said in the Shloka 40, third quarter, Anya Jnana Anapekshatvat, that is explained further. Nānyena Jyotisha Karyam Raveratma Prakashane Swabodhan Nanya Bodhecha Bodhasyatma Prakashane. न अन्येन ज्योतिषा रवेः आत्म प्रकाशने कार्यम. रवेः of the sun, atma prakashane karyam, the work of illumining itself. Na anyena jyotisha, there is no other source of light needed to illumine sun. It is of the nature of knowledge itself. So sun does not need any other light to illumine itself, because sun is of the nature of light itself, illumination. And the same holds for Brahma also. Swabodhan na anya bodhecha. Atma itself is of the nature of bodha, jnanam, Chaitanya, Prakasha. So swabodhat, due to it being of the nature of knowledge, illumination, bodhasya atma prakashane na anya bodhecha. For the bodha, for jnanam to illuminate itself, it does not need another jnanam. Bodhasya atma prakashane na anya bodhecha. So there is no need for any other bodha. So one Chaitanya, to illumine one Chaitanya, you don't need another Chaitanya. Just like to see one lamp, you don't need another lamp. What to talk? To see the sun. What other light do you need? Or which other star is needed? Nothing is required. Sun itself is self-luminous. In this way, Atma is also self-luminous. Nothing else is needed. Now, that Drishtanta is made clear, and through that, what Darshtantika means, what they wanted to communicate, that is also made clear. So, same idea, little bit more clarified, that there is no need of any other light. न तस्यैवान्यतोपेक्षा स्वरूपं यस्य यद् भवेत् प्रकाशान्तरदृश्यो न प्रकाशो ह्यस्ति कश्चन यस्य यद् स्वरूपं भवेत् तस्य अन्यतो अपेक्षा एव न. Whatever is the nature of a thing, of an entity, for it to remain that, to be that, it does not need anything else. Yasya yad swarupam bhavet tasya anyataha apeksha evana. It does not have any expectation for anything to remain in its own nature. So, Atma is Prakasha Swarupa. Prakashantara drishyo prakashaha nahi asti kaschana. So, second line you can read this way. Prakashaha prakashantara drishyo na kaschana asti. A prakasha, light, is never known through another prakasha. Means it does not need any other prakasha, it itself is prakasha. Why would it need anything else? So prakashaha prakashantara drishyo na kaschana hi asti. It is never known through any other prakasha. In the same way, Atma is Jnana Swarupa, and therefore it does not expect any other Jnanam. Like fire, it is hot by its nature, it is illumination by its nature. You don't say fire needs another fire to become hot. Fire would not need another fire. To kindle fire you may use firewood, that is different. But fire is itself sufficient to burn things. It doesn't need another fire. Similarly, sun doesn't need another sun or another light. In fact, no light can illumine sun. In the same way, Atma also is of the nature of Jnanam, Chaitanyam. So, no another Chaitanya is needed. What to talk of Chidabhasa, which is having borrowed illumination. Then a question may come, then what is this so much discussion on BrahmaAkara Vritti, and then Vritti Vyapti should take place, etc. So all of that, what it means is that I should have the right understanding of who I am, and that erroneous thoughts about myself I should be able to remove. So in general, to understand that I am consciousness different from the 5 sheets, 3 bodies, 3 states of experiences, you don't need lot of time. For 7 days or 10 days, every day if you have 3 classes, you will know that much. In 10 days maximum. 3 classes every day, 30 hours. Then you say people study for 2 years of Vedanta course, 3 years, 5 years, and in some places 10 years if they study. What is the objective? Remember, the knowledge that we get, that I am consciousness, that knowledge is only the knowledge of the word. Means it is padartha jnanam, it is not vakyartha jnanam. When I say I am consciousness or I am Brahma, the real meaning of the word I is not known. Because my identification with body, sense organs, mind, etc. is very strong. So lot of people, they study little bit of basic text and this much they will understand. But they have not gone through the entire process of doing enough karma yoga, then upasana, then karma sannyasa, then guru upasatti, and enough qualifications have not been earned. And that's why in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Aneka janma samsiddha, you will need so many lives. Or, Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate. After many lives, the wise one will attain me. So, why do you need many lives? In one life, you can study for 10 days and everything will be known. That knowledge doesn't stay longer. So that is called padartha jnanam. That is not vakyartha jnanam. And that's why Bhagavan Shankaracharya himself wrote so many texts. What was the need of writing this UpadeshaSahasrī itself? He could have just written Tattva Bodha, which he has written. Why do you need Atma Bodha, Viveka Chudamani, Vakya Vritti, Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Sara Sangraha, all these Dakshinamurti Stotra? If everything would become clear in few hours, Bhagavan Vedvyasji would not write in Brahma Sutra, Avritti Asakrid Upadeshat, that you have to do Avritti, you have to repeat this until, and many times, until the knowledge becomes firm. So there is a reason why it is put in this way. And because of our habitual thinking, we constantly think that I am physical body only. So many times I have also said that while we are listening to pravachan, we think, oh, knowledge is so clear, I am Brahma. And before even we step out, that knowledge disappears. Or differently, if you want to put, that Brahma Satya and Jagan Mithya, they are like two sides of the same coin. As much as I am Brahma is a fact, Jagat is also Mithya. And Jagat includes this Pramata, the experiencer, doer. From there onwards, everything up to Brahmanda, the position of Brahmaji also, all of that is Mithya. And we, after studying this kind of beautiful, wonderful knowledge, if we get disturbed by some small petty things in life, that somebody said something or somebody didn't say something, that means I have not understood Jagat is mithya. My raga dveshas, I am not able to understand that everything is to be eliminated as worthless. And then we say, I thought I understood everything, but nothing has happened. Vedanta is not working. Vedanta will work when they expect that you follow everything. Vedanta says, Tad vijnanartham sa guru meva bhigachet. You have to go to Guru. Live in Gurukula. Study in that fashion for years. Otherwise, the world as illusion, like dream. So many times that example is given. That world is like a big dream. It is an illusion. Do we see that world is an illusion? Do we see our own body, our own relations, our own possessions, wealth, etc. as illusion? And more importantly, when I have hunger, thirst, disease, old age related problems, do I understand all this is illusion? So until that point, I am Brahma is also not clear to me. And that's why the process is elaborated, that I have to go on doing this study. Okay. So the point made in this stanza is that yes, it is true that I do not need any other knowledge. But the knowledge of the truth should become absolutely clear to me. It should be my firm wisdom, along with the fact that Jagat is also mithya. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om.